Hello, alright. UFC 325 just took place in Sydney, Australia, including Volkanovski versus Lopez as our main event. This was the second fight for these two, and it basically went the same way. I picked perfectly on this card. We had a great card on picks. I went 10-0 on the prelims and the main card. I didn't pick the early prelims outside of Khan Oakley, who I picked as an underdog, and that hit. But I'm going to be honest, I didn't actually get to watch most of these fights, so it's going to be a bit of a scuffed recap. I watched the last few, of course, but I woke up in like a cold sweat at like 2 p.m. Australia time with the first word coming to my mind being like Volk, and I just had to be like, oh, and like explode out of bed and get to my setup and watch the fights, praying it wasn't 4 p.m. and I'd missed them. But yeah, that's why you don't go out the night before a UFC event, but that's what happens in Australia, man. It's Sunday morning, everyone just goes crazy Saturday night, but yeah. Anyway, the main ones I want to talk about are, I just want to skim over like the Carniflee fight. I heard that he almost got knocked out. I haven't watched it back, but I knew this guy was a tough out. We knew he can grapple. We knew he could strike to a decent degree. I didn't trust Yizo based on what I saw on his road to the UFC event fights. We just knew he would have to chin Oakley, and I just know Oakley's a tough out, and so we got that right. Jonathan Mikalav I picked by decision/TKO. I was not expecting a submission over Open Elliott. But hey, he got it. You're going to have to watch it back. Just skimming over these ones. I picked Jacob Malkoun. I just think he's better than Torres Finney. I had no faith in Finney. It really was just a simple pick. I thought this would be a bit of a blobby fight, and I heard it was. Roaston was a complete lock. We knew he was winning by 2KO. I'm never picking Cody Brundage in another fight unless they give him like a, I don't know, like a Bellator can or something. And then Junior Taffa, Billy Alicana. This guy was a lock. Everyone picked. No one's picking Junior Taffa in a fight ever again, unless he fights again like a Bellator can. Quillan Salkeld. This is the first like meaningful fight of the card, I guess. Obviously the other ones kind of matter, but this one, you know, Salkeld's a good prospect, man. Like us Aussies, we care about watching a Quillan Salkeld fight. When we hear that he gets announced, we're excited. And, you know, Jamie Malarkey, Aussie boy himself, obviously got respect for all Australians, but no one picked Jamie Malarkey. I did have one guy in my TikTok comments on my video, because I said that Jamie Malarkey has zero chance of winning this fight, and someone called me delusional for that and said it was the worst take they'd ever heard. So maybe that guy picked Jamie Malarkey, but if that was you, don't pick any more UFC fights, man. That was a really bad pick. And Quillan Salkeld just went out there and destroyed Jamie Malarkey. There's really not much to talk about. It was a round one submission. Just walked right through it. Taito Vos, Taliesin Teixeira. I don't even want to talk about it. This was the most blobby fight to ever happen, maybe. Obviously not. Oh, maybe actually. It might be the most blobby fight ever. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to rewatch it, sadly. But yeah, this was a complete blob fest. Just two fat heavyweights jiggling at range. Taliesin Teixeira is not a top contender. He will never be. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the rest of this. Now we're already, I know, almost at the top of the card, but I'm going to break down these fights pretty thoroughly. I picked Mauricio Ruffi to win by KO against Rafael Fiziev, and a lot of people acted like that was an absurd pick. Like, how could he KO the Tiger Muay Thai specialist, man? And it just made so much sense to me. Like, Ruffi's just going to KO him. And it's simply for the fact of the range. It's just the range. I would have picked Fiziev in this fight if I truly believed he was going to clinch against the fence. He was going to go for, you know, elbows in the clinch, knees, etc. Because I think that's where he would have won this fight. But the fact that he decided to strike at range with Hoofy was just the worst idea ever. All he had was low kicks. And once Hoofy adjusted to those low kicks, and maybe one right hand, he had nothing for him. And I just knew you can't stand at range with Hoofy and not get caught. It's just not going to happen. He's too accurate. He's too powerful. And I was honestly expecting an uppercut through the guard to be the one that hurt him. But it was a right hand. It was a kind of a stepping back, like turning his left shoulder backwards and then flinging off the right from the back foot. And it caught him really bad. Fiziev did the chicken dance, you know, kind of bobbling around the octagon. Yeah, man, like, this was exactly how I thought it would go. They were fairly even on strikes. It felt like they were fairly even on strikes, even though Hoofy's got a 23 strike advantage. That was mainly the jab, which Hoofy could not miss in the second round, or even late in the first. It was a slow start for Hoofy, but hey, he found his timing, man. He kind of started to get better around the 2-minute mark of round 1. And I thought he did enough to win round 1. I saw basically everyone on the Twitter tweets they post halfway through the fight were saying it was Fiziev 1-0, and I don't really know. Like, maybe if you say that the one right hand and the leg kicks are more than maybe 5 clean jabs and a couple clean right hands and a high kick with the right hand right after it, then yeah, maybe you can give Fiziev round 1, but I just don't think you can. I gave it to Hoofy. I don't actually know why everyone loves Fiziev so much. Cool, he has aura. Cool. He is a great striker. Cool. Everyone picks him to win every fight. I don't get it. He's beat Tadpole Bahamondes. He's beat 38-year-old Rafael dos Anjos. He beat Moicano in 2020. Who else has he beat? Nobody. He lost to Justin Gaethje on the feet twice. And Gaethje's good, don't get me wrong. Gaethje's good. But Hoofy vs Gaethje would be, if they're just striking, I see that being a very competitive fight. And I'd pick Hoofy to beat him on the feet. I would pick Hoofy to beat Gaethje. And so I just don't understand. Like, if you're going to pick Mauricio Hoofy to win a fight, it's because you see him fighting someone at range in the striking. If you're going to pick Mauricio Hoofy to lose a fight, it's because you think he's going to get grappled or clinched against the fence. Like, even James Lontop had success clinching Hoofy and holding him against the fence and, making the fight dirty and being a volume guy. Fiziev just is not doing that. And if he would have done that, I think he would have won this fight. I think he shot once, and it got stuffed pretty easily, and then Hoofy turned him against the cage for a little bit, and then Fiziev just didn't get back to it. He thought, I'd have more success in the striking. Which is just not the game plan. I think you have to mix it up. I think you can strike with Hoofy, don't get me wrong, but I think you have to keep the takedown in his mind. If you let him get too comfortable at range, he's gonna find that shot, and it's gonna hurt you. Even if he doesn't push you out, he's gonna hurt you. And we've discovered that, way early on. His second UFC fight, James Lontop, as I said earlier, that guy weighed in at, 165 for, a 155 fight, and they changed the weight on the booking, and he was probably in the octagon at, 190 or 185 or something. And he was eating massive shots and getting hurt. And it was probably because he had so much weight on him, he didn't get KO'd. But if you can hurt that guy, you can hurt anyone if you land on them at 155, and that's just a fact. I don't know, maybe Diego Lopez would eat it, we don't know. Guy's got a granite chin. He's at 145 though, so not an issue. But yeah, man, this fight went exactly how I thought it would. I thought Fiziev had the right idea when he shot early, and then he just got away from it, man. And the leg kicks, they're just not consistent. Hoofy moves out of the way of them, and then he starts firing back. You gotta mix it up against this guy. You can't just strike with him at range. Nobody can. And Fiziev is officially the most overrated fighter in the UFC. Genuinely the most overrated fighter in the UFC. He doesn't have any really good wins. He has decent wins, but he's not title contender type wins. This guy just has an aura. He's got a good personality. Don't get me wrong. I like Fiziev. I like watching him fight. He's got a sick style. Dude, you gotta stop picking him to beat everyone and all the time. People picked him to beat Gaethje on short notice. I just don't even know. Anyway, moving on. We're already at the co-main event, which is Dan Hooker versus BSD, Benoit Saint-Denis, Benoit, whatever you want to say. Yeah, Benoit, you make me money every fight, man. If I was a betting man, I would make money on this guy every time, except the Poirier fight. I've picked this guy to correctly in every fight. I picked him to lose to Moicano, which, in retrospect, I probably would have picked BSD if we could run it back. But, hey, I kind of thought I was overrating him because I picked him to beat Dustin. But in his last couple fights, I've been right. I picked him to beat Hoofy by submission. Once again, I think that's how you beat Hoofy. I think you grapple him. I don't think you strike at range. And yeah, he just went out there and did his thing against Dan Hooker. Early on, he was shooting some very slow, unathletic takedowns, and I was kind of like, yo, he kind of looks like he has staff. He looks like he's fighting through quicksand, do you know what I mean? But, hey, I was a little bit worried for a minute. Dan Hooker landed a nice teep. It kind of looked like it hurt Benoit to the body. Benoit was kind of shrinking away and falling back and then shooting desperately and getting back up and shrinking away. But after maybe halfway through round 1, he started kind of just lunging in with right hands and shooting, and then just shooting again, and then just shooting again. And it ended up being like, how many? Yeah, 9 takedown attempts. And Dan Hooker did really well. Benoit didn't actually get a takedown until maybe, I want to say 1 minute, 20 seconds left of round 1. With like 6 attempts, maybe 7 attempts. So Dan Hooker was actually doing his thing. He pulled Gilly once, which is just so annoying to watch. Like, you've now pulled guillotine against Arman Sarukian and Benoit Saint-Denis. Like, it's just not going to happen at top-level MMA. You're just not going to pull a Gilly and it work. It's just never going to happen. So, watching that kind of frustrated me, but he didn't keep doing it. He, kind of patterned up, got his stuff together. He got to the range he wanted to be at and started kind of picking Benoit apart. As you can see, 75% accuracy on Dan Hooker's strikes. He was doing really, really good on the feet with Benoit, which I do think will spell the end for Benoit, because he did call out Holloway, Oliveira, Ilya, or Arman, and that's just death, 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 and death for him. He has zero chance of winning any of those fights, in my opinion. Maybe not zero chance, but like, I would not pick him to beat any of those guys. But yeah, if he can get his grappling defended and is forced to strike with someone, he will lose. Like a Holloway, or, even an Oliveira. He won't be able to grapple on Oliveira, in my opinion. And I think he'd lose on the feet there as well. But Dan Hooker, if you just keep shooting on this guy, you're going to get him down. Maybe Paddy was right when he said what he said. But Paddy got his ass beat as well, so that guy doesn't really have a place to say anything right now. But yeah, Benoit just did his thing. End of the first round, got him down, got to side control, started threatening with a Kimura, and then round 2 starts, because nothing really happened from there. He just did a little bit of damage. I still gave round 1 to Dan Hooker, and then round 2 starts, and he gets him down fairly quickly and just destroys him on the ground. As you can see, 170 strikes on 83% accuracy. I think maybe 20 of them were in the first round. The second round was straight brutality. He got him into like a weird kind of half mount position. It was a bit of a weird spot to be in MMA, but Dan Hooker was just forced to lay on his back and smile while eating 100 elbows and getting a cut on his eyelid, and it was just a massacre in round 2. And yeah, I picked Benoit by submission, and I thought he had it for a fact. He had a really, really tight arm triangle in for about 20 seconds, but I think Hooker's shoulder pad, like, he didn't quite have the angle. Hooker had just enough room to breathe and survive, and he didn't tap. It really did look like he was gonna tap at one point, but no, he didn't. And yeah, Benoit gave up on the choke, started punching him again, and Herb Dean, if he dies, he dies, kind of reffing style. Yeah, Dan Hooker just managed to take like 120 years off his life. Yeah, he's gonna die probably tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. It's not that serious, but he took a lot of damage. Yeah, didn't look good for Dan, especially seeing how he's kind of gone on a bit of a losing skid after getting, well, it's only 2 fights, but he got a nice opportunity to fight Arman Sarukian, and then, it's not looking good. I wonder who they'll give him next. No narratives really changed in this fight. Like, we kind of knew Dan Hooker's going to lose to a good grappler if you book them. But I wonder who you give him. I think you give him a striker. You give him a young dog. Give him a prospect, and let him either, crush a can or build someone else's name off him. Because Dan Hooker's still an entertaining guy. We like to hear him talk. We like to see him fight when he's not pulling Gilly. And yeah, it's okay. Maybe you give him Paddy. Maybe that's what they do. Do they do Paddy versus Dan Hooker? I still think Paddy would win, even though he looked terrible against Gaethje. I still think he would out-grapple Dan Hooker, but hey man, that would be a sick build-up. That press conference would go crazy. I would love that. So yeah, I think maybe give Dan Hooker Paddy. I know it's a bit of a reward, but who has Paddy really beat? Michael Chandler, come on. So yeah, Dan Hooker. Book that fight. I want to see that next. And as for BSD, yeah, give him what he wants. Give him the loser of Holloway and Oliveira. I don't think you give him the winner. Give him the loser of that, or yeah, maybe an Arman if Arman wants to fight again. But yeah, I really doubt. I really, really, really doubt BSD is getting a win there. I think he loses his next fight no matter what. Now, finally, we're on to the main event between Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez. I really do like Diego. But yeah, man. If you becoming champ is sacrificing Volk, we're not doing it, man. We knew Volk was bringing this home 49-46. This is exactly how I said it would happen. We knew Volk would be good in the exchanges. He's always good in the exchanges. But what I wanted to see from Volk is the takedowns. I wanted him to shoot takedowns often. At least once or twice a round. He ended up shooting 7 takedowns, which is exactly what we wanted. That is a great pace for a 5 rounds fight. Once or twice a round, as I said. And yeah, it just was exactly how I thought it would go. Volk winning the exchanges, and when Diego gets a little bit of momentum, Volk shoots in to halt the momentum. Even though he didn't get it, he got 2 of them. It was just exactly how I would have drawn it up to get Volk this win. And it seems like Joe Lopez, Eugene Berman, and them boys did a lovely job game planning for the second fight. They saw what they did wrong in the first fight, and it was essentially the same fight with less danger. And it's exactly what I wanted to see. In the 3rd or 4th round, I think it was the 3rd or 4th round, I gave that round to Lopez because he did knock down Volk with a beautiful check hook as Volk charged in. And that's exactly what I said in my video. If he goes for these wild exchanges, like sitting down on shots, I could see him getting dropped and maybe KO'd. But he bounced right back up. It wasn't super concussive. It wasn't super clean and meaty. It was just a tight left hook, which I actually think would serve Lopez better than just swinging like crazy. But yeah, I knew that if Volk doesn't mix it up, Lopez is going to realize maybe when he's down 2-0 or something, I have a granite chin and I'm just going to walk forward and swing. And yeah, I mean, that's what I would have told Lopez to do because that was his only hope in this one. He's fighting the featherweight GOAT, old or not. We knew Volk was going to pull away here, and I said 49-46, and I think that's what I scored it because I gave the 1 round to Diego with the knockdown, which I don't think they counted as a knockdown. Yeah, so 50-45 if you actually don't count that, but I counted it. Volk dropped, his hands hit the ground. Yeah, it wasn't a good look, but Volk just cruising the whole way. It was a pretty slow start for both fighters in round 1. Let's see the strike numbers. Yeah, they didn't swing crazy. Volk pulled Gilly at one point during this fight, which is just hilarious, but yeah, and that's never going to work in high-level MMA. I think he did it for a bit of a laugh, to be honest. He's in Sydney. Doing something for the fans, but yeah, the fight got better as it went on. Round 2 was the round of danger in the last fight. Lopez actually dropped Volk in round 2, if I'm correct. I think I was near the end of round 2. And this time in round 2 it was no diff. Oh, it was way different. Should I say? Sorry. It was just very even, and there was no knockdown. Volk was a lot safer. He didn't shoot in this round, but there was no moments where he needed to halt the momentum, and I was like yelling, shoot Volk, No moments like that. And, yeah, Volk just looked amazing. Round 3, I think there was a bit of momentum Diego had. He was kind of starting to walk forward. He realized I'm down 2-0, I need this round. And Volk shot on him effectively, won the exchanges in this round. Got a bit wild, got dropped, but really just a flash knockdown and didn't show any sign of concussiveness. In round 4 of the last fight, Diego had his best round by far. He landed that massive uppercut that cut Volk. This time it was just a more cruisier decision. This is where he pulled Gilly this round. It was just a more cruisy decision. He didn't risk it. He shot when he needed to. He landed on the back foot, on the front foot. It was great. He had some great step back right overhands like he did against like Max in their third fight. Like, reminded me of vintage Volkanovski. Yeah, man, this was just a really impressive performance. Yeah, round 5 was domination. He shot in, he got both his takedowns. Oh, he shot 3 takedowns, but it was chain wrestling. Exactly what I wanted to see. This is exactly where I envisioned it going. To a 5th round with Volk up in the scorecards, and then Volk taking him down and, you know, playing guard game, getting his back taken, and, you know, getting him off his back and getting back to his feet and then shooting again. You know, just extending the timer. Lopez kind of started hunting for a sub in the 5th round. There was nothing there for him, really. It's Volkanovski. You're not going to submit him. I did know a couple people picking Diego Lopez. One of my friends in content, Genie MMA, picked Lopez, and we did a live together for this fight. We were actually on stream on TikTok, and we did really well. We had 130 live viewers at one point. I think that was the peak for the main event. And yeah, it was really good for my second stream ever. So thank you for anyone who was there. But yeah, we didn't really learn too much from this card. It was kind of exactly how I expected it to go, which is rare. Usually there's a couple outliers, but nope. Went 10-0 on this card. Obviously, I thought Teixeira would get a TKO just purely because Tuivasa been so inactive, but this was just a blob fest. Salkill delivered. Tafa, he's just going to lose whatever fight they book him in. Cut him from the UFC, I'm not even going to lie. And sadly, I was not up to watch this. But yeah, I don't know what happened in this fight, but Lawrence Louis winning is quite interesting. I'm quite happy for that because I wanted him to win. I didn't pick him. I didn't pick Salungarangbo either, but I wanted Louis to win. And yeah, I really don't know. I think this was the most favourable outcome possible. Nothing surprised me. Except for the submission, actually. There we go. Jonathan Mikolav getting his submission. I'm going to have to watch this back, because I'm quite surprised that Obanelli got submitted. But I'm going to assume there was like a knockdown or something, to be honest. We can just see, oh, no knockdown. He literally just submitted him. And Obanelli was outstriking him. I don't know what happened. It must have been like a triangle from bottom or something. I don't know. I have no idea. No, he got the takedown. Wow. I need to watch that fight back. But yeah, I picked Mikolav. I thought he was going to win decision. Or a KO, but nope, got a submission. So I'm going to have to watch that one back. But yeah, nothing other than that, nothing surprised me. This card was great. Great to have another fight in Australia, in Sydney, and have Volk walk away as the winner. I had some friends in real life actually go to the event, and I'm going to have to give them a couple calls because I'm sure they're some pretty happy men right now. And yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in. If you were in the stream, thank you very much. And yeah.